feels kind of real in the sense that, it's just, this is her life where all of these things are happening.
What's up, everybody? I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna.
And welcome to our review of East Lynne. This review is part of our goal to watch every movie that was nominated at the Academy Award from 1927 to 2028. And East Lynne is part of that group of movies, hundreds of movies, if not thousands.
Thousands?
I don't know. I haven't counted, have you?
No, me neither, actually.
We just finished the 2019's nominee, and now we're going back, all the way back to the 30s where we left off before, with a movie that was not easy to find.
Oh my gosh, no, it was not.
Oh no. For those of you who don't know, the way we will do this review is the first part is going to be spoiler-free. For those who don't necessarily want to be spoiled but want to hear about what the movie is and what we thought about it. The second part of the review is going to be spoiler-filled, but not in the sense that we're just going to say everything that happened in the movie, but more in the sense that we'll pick some elements, some scene that interest us more and go deep into those. We will warn you before we get to the spoiler section, so don't worry, you will have time to leave. We won't just surprise you and tell you who Darth Vader's kids are. First of all, before we get into any of these, I have some information to give you and you about the movie.
Yes, give me information.
Okay. East Lynne, a movie that came out in 1931, March 31st, 1931, distributed by Fox Film Corporation. It is based on the book Ellen Wood's 1861 novel East Lynne. This version of the story happens 10 years later than the time
in the book. Okay.
And I'm not sure what's the impetus to just switching it to 10 years later, but hey.
But I mean, maybe in those times that 10 years difference
is a big
it made the story different.
Probably because there is a war. I was almost going into spoilers here. Gotta be careful. It is directed by Frank Lloyd and stars Anna Harding as Lady Isabella, Clive Brooke as Captain William Levinson, Conrad Nagel as Robert Carlisle. Name is changed from the book. It was Archibald Carlisle.
Okay.
I feel like you understood why they changed the name as soon as I said it. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. And Cecilia Loftus as Cornelia Carlisle. The film is the third adaptation of this book, produced by Fox. Follow me here. The third by Fox.
Okay, so they've made this movie 3 times before this one. This was the third time.
Yeah, so previous version are the 1916 one and another one in 1922.
Okay.
In total, this movie has been adapted at least 10 times, with one of the most recent being 1982.
Okay.
This book.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
All right.
It was
10 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of critical reception, it was well received since it was nominated for the Academy Award of Best Picture, the only nomination it got that year. Unusual that a movie would just get Best Picture nomination but nothing else. So we were saying that it was a difficult movie to find. Only one copy of the film is known to exist, although somehow a version of the movie without the ending has made its way to the dark web and to just the internet in general. If you want to see the full version of the movie, you have to go to UCLA, University of California in Los Angeles, and make an appointment there to go see it at their archives. But if not, you can see the chopped up version missing the last 12 minutes, so the ending.
Yeah.
Which is the version we saw.
Right.
We didn't have to dig into the dark web too much. We just found it on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's in that sense, it's not actually that hard to find, but you can't actually watch the whole movie.
Exactly. We were looking for the whole thing.
Yeah,
and
not
it is
possible.
Not findable unless we took a trip to Los Angeles. So sorry.
Which I wouldn't have minded, actually. That would be nice.
Maybe one day we'll do it. I hope one day we do it so that we can see the full thing. But for now, we will have to do with this. Our review is tainted. I'm sorry.
Right, because we don't have the ending.
Yeah,
we don't know how the movie ends.
Exactly, which sometimes change a lot. Like what
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
The ending could make or break this movie, actually.
Exactly. But hey, our conversation will be about that version that we saw without the last 12 minutes. Let's just get into it. Spoiler free. What did you think of this movie? Did you like it?
I did. I thought it was a very strong story.
Mm-hmm.
Like a very well put together story. I guess a lot of these older movies that we're watching, I feel like the beginning, you kind of don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just dropped in the middle of a story. People are already talking. Like there's not
Where is
much
this going?
presentation exposition given to the viewer. You just have to, figure it out on the way. But it's very nice. I felt that the actors did a really good job. Because of course the main actress, I thought she was very good.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the supporting actors were also like amazing. Even if their roles were smaller.
Yeah.
It added to making the story feel more real.
I don't know what to feel about this movie, frankly. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of interesting element there that could make for a good movie, but it's also surface level in my opinion. Everything is touched, nothing is digged.
Right.
And so by the end, I kind of have this jumble of a movie where like a lot of things happen. You could have focused on just that and...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, that I feel like the ending could
make or break this.
Yeah, because the ending could either give a closure to all of these issues that they're opening or not.
I feel like it wouldn't, and I feel like the way the ending was going, it even exacerbated my feeling of like, oh wow, this movie is all over the place. Because then we introduce this new element and this new element, and oh, that new thing is happening. Like we'll get into it on the spoiler part. But
yeah, there are a lot of things going on, but I still feel like it works.
There are so many things going on, and nothing is digged. It's just, oh, this thing happens. And I'm always like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe we should go deeper into that. But no, let's move on to something new now. We'll see. Like, I feel like it's a bit hard to get into that conversation without spoiling. So we'll just give our general thoughts right now. Would you recommend this movie?
Yes, I would recommend it. Granted that you probably can't see the last 12 minutes of the movie. In which case, I don't know how many people would actually want to watch a movie knowing that they can't get the ending.
That's gamed out, like that? Oh.
A little bit. But I feel like it raises a lot of interesting questions.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, for that reason, I think it's an interesting movie to watch.
You've already mentioned the actors. The story, what did you think of it?
Yeah, well, like I already said, I feel like it's true that there are a lot of elements to the story. But I feel like the narrative is logic enough that it doesn't lose you. Oh
no, it doesn't lose you, but it loses my interest. But no, we'll get into it. What about the feel of the movie, like image and sound? I know it's an older movie, so like the sound is not top quality and it's in black and white.
It's not. It's true that it's not top quality, but I feel like for other movies that we've seen from those times, I feel like it's good. I think like
we're still in the first few years of sound.
Exactly. We're talking like 1931. It's been what, like 3-4 years?
Of 27. They weren't even talking.
Oh yeah, right. 3 years of sound movies. So I feel like you do get that sound quality better and better, pretty much. Well, not with every movie, but you feel it. You feel it improving a little bit.
Okay. As for me, would I recommend this? Considering that you probably can't even see, unless you're in LA or want to make a trip to LA, the full version and then the shortened version. Like, you don't know whether the ending has a huge impact on the story. And the ending, like, I feel is pretty important in this case. Sometimes you would have thought, like,
I really
the last 12 minutes, it's fine if I don't see them. But in this case, I feel like you should see the last 12 minutes. And we haven't. And probably you guys at home won't be able to see them. So I can't recommend this movie. If
you can't see the whole movie, it could get frustrating.
Yeah. But if you're in LA, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's an experience. A rare movie like that almost nobody else can see. So let's get into our spoilers section now. First of all, I want to give a small synopsis of the movie. So This is the story of the refined Lady Isabel Carlisle. I gotta say too, this is a synopsis taken from IMDB. A lot of the synopsis out there, not very clear, and also spoil the movie. Sure. So here, the second sentence is the end of the movie. You know, after enduring nearly a decade of hardship, learned that a son has fallen ill. Despite being nearly blinded as a result of an explosion, she returns home to see her son again. That's the ending.
Yeah, but also a decade, like that kid is not 10 years old in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just missed that part when they made the movie, or if the description here is inaccurate.
Or is the description like taken from the book and the movie is kind of... But let me tell you the synopsis from the way I see it, and I'll point out like the issue that I had with the movie. So this is the story of Lady Isabel Carlisle, the lady from London who goes marry a guy who lives in the countryside, you know, and she lives the life of a young rich lady of London, and now she's there in the countryside. A sister-in-law who's stern and serious all the time, and a husband who's also kind of serious
spiteful
all the time. Yeah, and she goes there. She's sad,
and
lonely. She wants to see her friend, but 3 years pass. Now she has a baby. She's still sad. There's this other guy who also wanted to marry her before, but she decided to go with that countryside guy. After the 3 years, she has a kid. She's dressing in a more stern way too. You can see that they've started to break her.
You can see the difference.
And the husband is also kind of colder to her.
Right.
She wants to do all these activities. They don't let her do it. And the guy who wanted to marry her first comes back.
And he comes and visits them.
Yeah, he's a diplomat. He proposed to bring her to a ball. She goes. They have some, interaction.
Right.
To which the sister-in-law tells the brother she's kicked out. Now she lives in Europe with this other guy. And then they live there for a while until he's caught for doing some nefarious thing.
Yeah, exactly. Being in the position of a diplomat.
He was corrupt. So now they have to leave to Paris. But then they're in Paris and it's the Prussian-France war. So there's war going on and there's an explosion. She gets blind. And now she has to go back to see her son because she also learns that her son is sick and is dying. So you see how this movie is all over the place? Yeah, but there's 5 storylines in here.
Yeah, it's true. But I feel like it feels kind of real in the sense that, it's just, this is her life where all of these things are happening.
Yeah, but you would have needed 2 movies.
Yeah, probably. Like, there's a lot of things for such a short movie.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what the book is like, because maybe the book takes the time to actually
go deeper into these things.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the guy, the diplomat, that she ends up with in Europe.
At first, he's so in love with her and so nice, and suddenly he changes. I feel like you need more time to show that.
Yeah, exactly.
That
and then
change of feeling.
He gets caught for some type of corruption. We don't even know what this is about.
We don't even know where it comes from.
And then it's just like all of a sudden you're like, oh, we have found that you're, not fitted to be an employee of Her Majesty. You're kicked out.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. Later on, he actually blames it on her.
And so that would have been a good angle if you go deeper into that. Or what would have been a good angle if you dig deeper into her life in the countryside at the beginning of the movie when she's miserable because she wants to party. But no, they don't even do that because they skip 3 years and you just guess that she's been miserable for 3 years,
Yeah.
Like the movie just goes on surface level on all these storylines.
But I guess maybe it is that. Maybe it is just that the story itself is very complex and the movie just didn't take the time to present all of these plot points.
But yeah, at some point, when the war started with the Prussians, I was like, okay, I'm done. What is even happening now? Now you're at war and she's blind. But is there any particular scene or element that you want to...
So actually, going back to the beginning, the part where she's at the countryside, and when they say that 3 years have passed and we see her coming into the scene, dressed in a very sober gray dress, like all the colors and sparkles that she had when she arrived there are gone.
I mean, there was never any color.
Yeah, it's true. But you can tell. You can feel it. That particular scene, I thought, that's the moment when I actually understood what this movie is about. Because this story, I recognized it. Not in the sense that I know this story in particular, but the story of a girl, going with the man she loves, thinking that her life will be beautiful because she loves him, finds out that real life is not a fairy tale and things
or rather that they are different, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like this story, I've read it a million times before, and I've seen it in other movies. Like it's a classic story, you know.
Like he's a countryside serious guy and she's a party Londoner.
What did they call her? A social butterfly?
They don't match, you know, their lifestyle, especially with the sister-in-law. They are always judging, you know.
Exactly.
That was an interesting scene, and I like how they managed to, like, with that one scene of her coming down the stairs and parallel to the first time she went down the stairs and was so happy, you know,
right.
Everything is new, everything is beautiful, and the husband is there in the lobby and he's smiling. It's like, you're beautiful, you remind me of my mother who would come down these stairs. And then they show that new scene 3 years later. She comes down the stairs, she looks around, she's not happy, she's all gray, you can tell the clothes are darker, and then the husband is not there, you know.
Yeah.
And so
the
contrast is very well made.
You see the difference right away. Yeah. Is there any scene that you found particularly interesting?
I mean, to me, the first half of the movie, that like, dynamic with her and the sister-in-law and the diplomat, even when it comes to stay there, to me that could have been the whole movie, you know. But then they go to Europe, and so that's when they kind of lose me, because I'm like, what is this about anymore?
I feel like they could have cut stuff there, like they could have done a less thing.
And so, like, in terms of picking like particular scenes that come back to me, when I think back of the movie, there's so many different things in my head that like I can't even focus anymore. You know?
Another thing that I found interesting though is this image that they create of this girl, right? And there are two men who at different points in time are in love with her.
Yeah.
And really seem to, you know, be willing to make her happy. Because her husband too, like, sure, he's a serious countryside guy, but he really wanted her to come with him, to marry him.
Yeah,
it seems that way. He loved her, yeah. But then when it turns out that the woman is more than just, you know, a beautiful decoration next to me.
Wife, yeah.
When it turns out that she wants things, or that she has these dreams, or that she has these, you know, things that she wants to do in her life, they both like take a step back and they're like, what do you think who do you think you are? You're supposed to, you know, be by my side. You're supposed to do this.
But it's also the complexity of a human being, because it seems like she wants something, then she wants something else, you know. When she was locked inside in the countryside, she wanted to go all around the world. Now when she's going all around Europe, not happy either, you know.
But I mean, she's not happy because she wants her baby.
Yeah, of course. But there's not only that, you know. He calls her off when they're in Paris, you know, this is what you wanted and you're not happy. But yeah, of course, the fact that she doesn't have her kid has a lot to do with it, which I think that was one of the, now that I think about it, the strongest scene. That whole thing with her wanting to get the baby back, or leaving with the baby, and he's telling her, no, you're not going anywhere with this kid, and there's not a court of law who will give you the kid. And I think when you compare that to today, how like social changes made things so different, because back then she had no recourse, you know. She's basically, if she didn't have that other guy, that diplomat, to take care of her, she would basically be in the street without her kid. Once again, you would recommend it?
Yeah, I would recommend it. I feel like it raises enough interesting questions, this movie, that it's worth watching it. But, you know, beware, you're not gonna get the ending unless you're in LA. So
yeah, I'd say like watch something else. There's a lot of other movies from that year, you know, that you can get with the ending too. We talk about a lot of those. So yeah, watch something else if you can, or if you're in LA, go see the full version and then tell me how it ends. No, don't tell me how it ends. Maybe we'll go see the full version.
You know, it's burning me, because actually when we were done watching the movie, I looked up the ending because I wanted to see how the story ends, and I couldn't find even like. I mean,
you can find the book's ending.
Yeah, but.
I assume they're the same, but I don't know. One day we'll get to LA and watch the full version. That will be it for us today. Don't forget, this video is part of our bigger series of us watching all the movies that were nominated at the Academy Award from 1927 to 2028. That's 101 years of Academy Award nominated movies. We're currently in the 4th year. We've already done 2019 too, so like it adds up. We've done 5 years.
Yes, I think so.
Or 4.5. So a lot left still, more than 90 left. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like this video. Comment in the comment section below. Have you seen this movie? Was it good? Did you see the real ending? Tell us. And subscribe if you're not subscribed already. This channel is much more than just us watching movies. It's a bucket list channel. We do a lot of stuff in here. Go check it out. And have a nice day.
I've tried to forget it. Day and night I've tried to forget it. Sometimes I could. Then when I did, I had to pay for it later on 10 times over.